Good morning, everybody. Today's topic is frozen capital, and if you think about it, you could have every key performance indicator in your dealership looking good. Your effective labor rate, your efficiency, proficiency, all of your numbers can look wonderful on paper. But frozen capital can chew up so much of the profits. I've seen situations where dealerships have had literally hundreds of thousands of dollars tied up in dealership capital. Now, obviously, everyone would rather have this money in the bank than on a piece of paper or on a financial statement. So let's look at some best practices and some common causes of frozen capital and what we can do to attack those types of issues we see in the dealership. Because the fact is we had a really excessively cold winter. And no matter what, if you have frozen cash flow, if you have frozen capital, it's far worse than anything this winter has provided. The most common frozen capital area that I see is aged inventory in the parts department. And if you look at even a reasonable sized dealership, mid-sized dealership, you're going to have $500,000 in inventory. I recall recently in working with one of our new accounts, they had literally $500,000 in inventory that I call aged. Now, aged inventory, what that is, in my definition, is any inventory that's been on hand for over a year, 12 months and over without a sale. Now, I understand that in itself creates some controversy as General Motors won't allow a return until after 15 months on the shelf without a sale on their RIM program. And some of this inventory was tied up. Matter of fact, half of it was in a Chrysler Magnelli Pirelli that hadn't sold. And Chrysler extended the thing to, I believe, 24 months. Before they would take that back. And that's an interesting thing here, because if we look at the manufacturer's past practices, they can change the rules on us at any time and make it hard for the dealership to get any capital back. They're reducing the ability to make returns. They're extending the times that you have to have it on your shelf, even if it's protected, to get your money back out of it. So let's look at some common best practices and some typical problems that happens with our parts inventory. The main thing on any of these, and parts is included in that, any of these areas that have frozen capital is a lack of attention and then a lack of action. Where we look at parts, the best practice control, number one, identify the cause. A lot of times, if you look at what are these items that are in your old inventory, what's causing this? Is it a body shop that is bringing back returns and has a ton of panels and sheet metal that's just hanging around? The body shop buys it and then says, oh, I don't need that, and send it back. Or I've seen situations where body shops will do that as a common practice. And I'm not saying they're all like this, but I've seen examples where a body shop was purchasing items from the parts department to make it show on the estimate of the repair. Then they return the parts back, and guess what? They get their credit from the dealership and also get paid for the items from the insurance claim on the crash they got in their body shop. I've also seen examples where inventory has never even left the facility. You order it in, body shop never even gets the order. So body shops are one way. Special order parts, that's another. You go back on your special order parts shelving, and if you order a part in for somebody, then the policy should be that that part is paid for before it's ordered. Now, if some people might say, well, I'm not going to do that. That might be offensive to the customer. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be any less offensive when you go online and you place an order for any item. You pay for that up front before they ship it, before they order it, before they process it. Your payment's paid on anything you order. And really, it's the same if you go to the grocery store. You don't say, I'll pay for this next payday. Hey, I'll hold this ticket. I'll get it when it comes in. So why are we so convinced that it's wrong for a parts department in a dealership to say, yeah, I'll order that for you. That's whatever number it comes out to, and that's credit card or check or cash. It shouldn't be offensive to process the order, and they're going to pay for it when it arrives anyway in a day. So best practice here is that if you special order a part customer pay, then make sure that that special order part is paid for. Another thing that I've seen historically on this is sometimes people will say, if it's not paid for, what they do is they keep looking because they need the part today. They figure if they order it now, you're not getting paid for it, then go ahead and order it. And if they don't find it, then they'll pick it up tomorrow as expected. But if they find it, do you think they're going to call you and say, hey, cancel that order, or I'm not picking that up? But I promise you, if they pay for the item before it's ordered, guess what? They stop looking. You're not the backup anymore. Mission solved. Go to the next item on their list. So parts ordering, special order parts, this process isn't offensive. It just should be a standard way to do business. But if you've identified anything as a source or a cause for aged inventory, then you must look at some kind of policy or best practice, some kind of process to change what's happening to you. Identify the cause, and then develop the plan. I like dealerships to be real aggressive. If you got old inventory, I want you to be real aggressive to get rid of it, because the chance of something selling, if it's over a year old, drops to 5%. Now, that's not real good odds. So if you've got $250,000 and a 5% chance of selling it, you had best take some actions to, number one, eliminate it getting there, which we just discussed, and two, getting rid of it. So we do, like, as a company, Fixed Performance, to recommend DealerMine, Cash Discovery, which is an ADP company, and OE Connect. Depends on your manufacturer which one works the best for you. Obviously, Ford and General Motors, the OE Connect source is the ultimate. But there's nothing wrong with using all of these to get rid of old inventory. A couple things to remember, though. This is interesting. Usually you have to discount the aged inventory on these programs to 50 cents on the dollar that you have invested. And again, playing the odds, I'll take those odds, take your 50 cents on the buck and get it out of there. But be sure when you sell an item on that program, that you delete the number from the system, you watch your REM order, and you exclude it, because you will have a problem. If you don't delete the number, guess what? The automatic systems want to order that in for you. Do whatever you can do so it doesn't show as a sale, and if it comes up for reorder, exclude it. Accounts receivable is another area of frozen capital. And I'm going to challenge your thinking and ask you, is this really needed today? And the fact is, if someone doesn't have a credit card and they can't use their credit card, then why should you, as a dealership, extend credit? Many manufacturers today, most of them, in fact, have a credit card with their franchise logo on it, like Ford, General Motors. Most of them have credit cards that you can tell your customer, hey, can I, if they want to charge it, say, we are using Ford Motor credit cards, we'll go ahead and apply for that for you and have an answer for you quickly. Fill out the information, and if a manufacturer rejects them, guess what? Why would you want them on your books? Fact is, you wouldn't. And on accounts receivable, you also have to look at, if you got extended aged warranty. Is anyone looking at the aged warranty? And don't forget, employees count. Are your employees racking up huge bills in parts and service and not paying anything? How about your body shops? Are they covering the parts that they can add up quickly? They can have $10,000, $20,000 in a couple weeks. Are you making sure that they pay promptly? And if they don't, are they getting put on COD until they're current? Accounts receivable includes uncollected warranties. It includes body shop that the insurance companies haven't paid yet. Someone has to manage these assets every day. They need to constantly be looking at who's paying, where the opportunities are, and instead of having this frozen capital, cash in the bank is always the number one place to have it. The last thing on the list today, and I know that we could spend time on and find many more, but open repair orders and open counter tickets in your parts department. Is anyone looking at your open parts counter tickets, open repair orders to see how much in parts and labor are hanging out there? Work all of these areas. Be assured that your dealership has the smallest number humanly possible in your frozen capital book. Do that. Keep the cash in the bank where it belongs. Doesn't mean exclude your efforts on key performance indicators, but it does say no matter what your key performance indicators are, if you don't have it in the bank, if it's only on paper, if it's uncollected funds, if it's aged parts, open repair orders, open warranty that hasn't been paid, it's worthless. Put forth the effort and get that frozen capital back into the bank where it belongs. Thanks for attending the call today. I hope you're all well and have a super day. Thank you.